Have you ever had a friend who was great at making promises, but not so good on delivering them? One of the things I really don't like doing in my life is moving. And moving takes a lot of help, and help takes a lot of trust. And what I've often found was that I've had a lot of people promise to help out on moving day and not follow through. What makes it worse is when they say, oh yeah, I'll be there, and they're not, or I'll be there and they're late, but then they double down on it. And they say, oh man, when you need me next time, please just let me know. I will be there for you. Having friends like that is hard. It's frustrating because you're not sure if you can trust what they're telling you. Their promises don't mean a whole lot. This past week, on Sunday, we talked about promises, and we discussed and learned and read about the God who makes promises and follows through on them. We can take God at his word because he has earned our trust, right? That's how we know the promises are going to come true, because he has been true to us. We can take him at his word, and we know that he's going to follow through. So what does that have to do with us? If God is trustworthy, what does that mean for me? Well, Jesus actually had a whole lot to say about this. And in one section, he told his followers these words. He said, again, you may have heard it was said to those of old, you shall not swear falsely, but shall perform to the Lord what you have sworn. But I say to you, do not take an oath at all, either by heaven, for it is the throne of God, or by earth, for it is his footstool, or by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. And do not take an oath by your head, for you cannot make one hair white or black. Let what you say simply be yes or no. Anything more than this comes from evil. Now, what's Jesus talking about here? Making promises, right? And what's he say? Don't make them. Now, why does he say that? He said, oh, come on. Why shouldn't we make promises? That seems like something that everybody does all the time. Why shouldn't we who follow Jesus make a promise? Well, you see, promise implies power. To fulfill a promise, you have to have the power to fulfill it, right? Now, I don't know about you, but I don't have the ability to control everything in my life. Matter of fact, I think a lot of days I have a total lack of control. But when we make a promise, what we're saying is that we can control those things in our life that are uncontrollable, that we can make sure that everything is going to work out the way we want it to be good on our promise. This is more about words and actions. It's relational power dynamics, isn't it? Because by making a promise, I'm choosing to believe that I have the power to make it happen. But just as importantly as that, I want you to believe that I have the power to make it happen. You see, because when I can convince you that I can fulfill my promises, that I'm good on my word, that I will come through for you 100%, my promise is as good as gold. And if you come to understand that and know that is true, then I have the power over you, don't I? I've influenced your life, and you're going to come to me saying, man, every time I need something, he's there. He makes a promise and he keeps it. That's awesome. That's great. And it implies that I have this unseen power to make things happen, that I can just do everything that I say I'm going to do, and it's going to be good to go, right? And that raises what? It raises my status, doesn't it? It raises my importance in your life if you believe my word, if you take what I say to be true. It increases my sphere of influence, doesn't it? People begin to see that I can get things done, I can make things happen. That power, that status, that feels good. But it's fleeting. You can make and you can keep 1,000 promises, but break just one. And what happens? All that hard-earned trust is gone in an instant. Jesus says we shouldn't make promises, because if we profess to know and follow him, then we should know the only one who is faithful to keep a promise is God. We must be careful, though, not to take this too far. Because you can read that and you can say, oh, wow, I guess I should just not commit to anything. Or I guess I shouldn't make any promises. I guess I should just walk around saying, well, maybe. If I can, I will. That's not what Jesus is saying, is he? The very last line, and we just read when he told his followers this, he said, let what you say be simply yes or no. What's he talking about there? In other words, use your God-given wisdom, right? To make informed, responsible decisions, and then stick to your word. We who profess to live by his good word should honor our word to others. So the next time someone asks you to help them move, think carefully. Say yes if you have the ability to actually fulfill that commitment, and then stick to your word. Doing so will be a better example of following Jesus than 1,000 invitations to his church ever would be.